always been told that 2 or 3 pounds a week is sustainable.
I think it isn't for most people.
Really?
That's the problem. I mean, I think as much as anything in our clinic, we're sort of telling people just, you know, you're trying to go too fast, too quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly that's. We've got to think of what works for most people. Now, clearly for some people, they can manage that, and it's great that you've managed to make these fantastic changes.
I know a lot of
that's
people
brilliant.
are on it, and I know a lot of people that it's working for.
And that's great, but honestly, it's true to say that there's a lot of people who can't do that, and there's a huge problem with setting up expectations, which well, Rick was talking about it, how when you expect to be able to sort of maintain, when there's literature and promotional stuff saying that you can lose vast amounts of weight over short periods, that's not true for many people. And
well,
what you're doing is setting up a disappointment, which
suppose
is
we say don't get disappointed if you're losing a pound a week, because that's very good. Yes,
fine.
But that's the good thing about the slimming clubs like Slimming World and Weight Watchers.
Yeah.
They do. I always thought it was a gimmick to get more money out of you, because they say don't lose it too quickly, take it slowly. No food's a sin, etc. It's similar with Slimming World. Everything's open to you, but it's the way you eat, and it's true, the slower you lose it, the better it is, because as Rick said, you can get very despondent. Lots of people, you can shake your head, but as we have all proved, we've all been on different diets, we have all lost weight. Everything works differently for everybody. So whether you and your friends have done fabulously or not, someone like me who adores food, Slimming World is my perfect diet.
I absolutely adore food.
Hold on 1 second, what were you going to say?
But, you know,
I just want to point out actually that the major factor is successful in a long-term fat loss is first of all accelerating metabolism. Yeah. So there are 2 ways of doing it. One is diet, one is proper exercise.
Yeah.
When it comes to the diet, what happens, I have to say I'll disagree a little bit with the common opinion so far, is less you eat, slower your metabolism will be.
So how do you speed up your metabolism?
You speed up your metabolism diet-wise if you eat more often. So 3 meals per day are not enough, because
how many meals do you eat?
I probably have like 5 or 6 meals.
I eat 6 a day.
But those meals
are not 6.
Those meals are not big, and which is the most important thing about those meals. They are all created out of food, which is low glycemic food. This is the food that turns into fat very slowly, or not at all.
Low glycemic.
Low glycemic food.
Glycemic food, yeah.
We have a picture of you without many clothes on. Can we have one of those pictures so we can demonstrate? I don't know. Have you got it, Phil?
And what I want to say about that as well is that...
Can't sit down here.
Yeah, this is what you can achieve with diet as well.
Did you do it on purpose?
I think so.
Gosh. Look at all that.
Yes, this is the consequence obviously of long-term diet, long-term. I don't like to say diet, but eating habits rather, and proper exercise.
But is it good for you? I mean, it looks
great. I don't know, but
looks like you're carrying an awful lot of muscle on there. Is that?
Not depends on the view.
Yes.
But once again, back to the diet.
Were you very skinny and sort of weedy before?
I wasn't born like this. This is what I remember.
Well, imagine a baby being born like that.
I had to put some effort in it. No,
Can I just ask the doctor? Can I just briefly, doctor, talk to you about the problems of overweight? Because it isn't just a cosmetic thing, is it?
No, it isn't absolutely. I mean. And that's really, of course, why medical people, myself and Professor Saunders get involved in this area. If we could, diabetes, arthritis, heart disease, blood pressure, they're all profoundly determined by how much obesity there is in the population. And if we could,
for people, individual people, if we forget the population, it is a health risk.
Oh, it's undoubtedly a health risk. But in fact, it is easy to talk about the population from a medical point of view, because I can't look at an individual and say, yes, you're going to get diabetes.
Yeah.
What I can say is that, for example, if all of those ladies went down to their target weight, their ideal weight, then, for example, their chance of getting sugar diabetes would probably go down by over 3/4, perhaps 90%.
So it's good for us. Can I just quickly ask about the gentleman's point about metabolism? Is this medical fact?
Well, he's correct in that exercise, one of the good things about exercise is, of course, it keeps you fit and healthy generally, but it will also help keep your metabolism up, and that comes back a little bit to this question of how quickly you can lose weight, because if you put yourself on if you do a crash diet, then your metabolism slows down. These more gentle weight rates of weight loss that we've been talking about, then they don't slow the metabolism down substantially. But either way, exercise is good.
So don't crash, do exercise, yes.
I was a lot bigger. In fact, I was 10 stone bigger in March of last year. And I actually went on the same program as the lady up there called Lighter Life. I'd never been particularly big all my life, but when I fell pregnant, I went from 10 stone to 21 stone overnight. I mean, 8 months, it was unbelievable. I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything. And it affected my entire life. Every relationship, my relationship with my child, my relationship with my job, my relationship with everything. And I did try everything. Men, absolutely, of course it does, because the confidence isn't there. My doctor put me on slimming pills, he put me on all sorts of things, and nothing worked because I lost a pound here and a pound there. And it was just soul destroying. And it was 2 years, 3 years, I might be able to fit into a decent sized clothing. And the best thing about me, that was
Is that at you?
Yeah.
Goodness. But you're pregnant there.
I am. I'm actually 7 months pregnant there. But I didn't lose the weight after I had my baby, like my doctor said. I lost a stone, and then I stayed at 20 stone. And last year, it was a case of either I commit suicide, because I felt that bad, or I do something about it. And it couldn't be a 6-year process or a 3-year process. It had to be an overnight thing for me. And I went on Lighter Life, and I lost, 9.5 stone in 7.5 months. Yes, it is. And I think that's the success with it, because I had an eating disorder. I used to say all the same things. I don't eat a lot of food. I exercise. I did exercise, but I binge ate. I used to go to the fridge and raid it. But then I didn't eat for the next 2 days, which obviously doesn't help because your body stores. And I'd then binge eat, and I'd eat an entire cake and then not eat for another, 12 hours. And all of this really didn't help mentally, because the more I ate, the more depressed I became.
How long have you been on your current weight?
Well, I finished my diet on October 22nd. I then lost an additional 8 pounds after I started eating regular meals and still exercising. I'm a member of their Sporter gym and I train regularly. So I've got a toned body as well.
It's all about lifestyle changes. I mean, when we talk about short success, as we can see, like losing this much weight, that much weight in 2 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever, this is short-term success. But what do we need? We need long-term maintaining good shape and health. And as she did, and she's doing now, successfully is obviously
aspects. You have to address that.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, this is very good adverts for all these programs and so on, but as far as I've ever seen, you don't have to go on programs and spend a lot of money going to gyms. There's a door there you can go outside and walk, and the best diet I always advocate is just pure, simple, fresh food. There are too many diets that say don't eat cheese, don't eat avocados. I mean, they're just such a load of poppycock. You should eat pure, fresh, simple food that you get. Make as much as you can. And if people just cut out the extras, didn't have dinner and then go to the cinema and buy a bucket of popcorn.
Have you been fat?
Well, after I've had children, yes.
How fat?
I don't remember.
Not very.
Well, I know what it's like to be overweight. Of course I do. I've had children, but the point is that I believe in eating pure, fresh food, making as much as you can. People buy too much junk, they eat too much junk, they eat when they're bored, and whether or not people say, well, it's not my fault, I dare say it isn't people's fault, but the best diets are no fancy programs. I really don't believe in it, but cook as much food yourself as you possibly can. Don't buy ready meals. And of course, what people don't like about that idea is that they always say, I haven't got the time.
Can I just say, what I think that we have discovered today is not, rocket science. What we've proved is that different people respond to different kinds of incentives, ways of persuading themselves to cut back on the foods that put weight on, and ways of putting up their own metabolism, which appears to be crucial.
Could I just say that Slimming World and Weight Watchers are all fresh fruit and vegetables. In fact, Slimming World is slightly better in the fact that if you're hungry, fill up on friends.
Stop! We're going to put all these suggestions onto our fact sheet, because quite clearly we've talked now about 3 or 4 different kinds of slimming clubs, 3 or 4 different kinds of diet. Personally, I swear by Esther's olive diet, but I mean, you don't have to believe that unless you want to. And if I may briefly disagree with Monica, I do think it's quite important for you to be confident and happy, and even if the world doesn't agree you're the ideal shape, the hell with the world. If you want a fact sheet, the address is Esther Fact Sheet, BBC Television, London W12 7TS. Thank you everyone for joining us. Until next time, from everybody here, goodbye.
The BBC is looking for people to take part in a discussion about how you get on with your ex. Are you trying to stay friends for the sake of the kids? Does that cause problems with your current partner? Do you want to find new ways to talk to your ex without it ending up in a row? If that's you, then ring now on 0870 608 4488.
In our next show, we're going to talk about one-night stands. Are they just a bit of fun or really rather sad? We've got loads of one-night standers in our studio to tell us, including Angel from Club Reps. That's at 3:30 on BBC Two.